look at the app I built. I built the collaborative editor to help interviews. So you're looking at a very interview focused app. Before I can do anything, I need to log in. So let me just do that. I'm already using a test account here, so I'm just going to continue logging in. At this point, the application is asking for the drive.file scope, so I may create files on the user's behalf. So I'm just going to allow that. And now I can create the interview. So let me just create a test interview to show you what that's like. So here I'm actually going to test another user. So that's another test account, and that's a Gmail account. I can also preload the interview with a test question. So let me just add a comment that should represent our question. And I'm just going to pick JavaScript as the language of choice for the interview. And I'm not going to use any tags. Tags is useful for helping you search your interviews after you've created them. So at this point, I'm not going to use that feature. I'm just going to create the interview. And now I'm actually invoking a Cloud function that should create a file in Drive, add all the necessary permissions. Let's see what that's like. So if I switch to my Drive, you can see that there's a folder that's been created. And this is the interview that I was talking about. And as you can see, Google account 3 can actually edit that file. He has edit permissions for this shortcut file that has been created. And now if I go back to search, I should be able to see the same thing. I should be able to discover the interview that I just created. And as you can see, I can. Let's go to edit mode and let's see what's happening there. If you look at edit, you can see the preloaded test question that I created, and you can see that I have joined the interview, and I have a notes panel that I can use to take some notes. So as you can see, there's only one user who's looking at the document right now, so let's change that. Let me log in using, so here I have another user who's logged in, and this is the test 3 user, and I can join his document. And as you can see right away, the user interface looks slightly different. You can see now that there's 2 users who have joined the session, and you can see that his UI is missing the notes panel. The notes panel is only visible to the creator of the interview. And let me move this document into the other workspace so you can see both documents together. So once I do that, you should be able to look at edits in both windows at the same time. So now, as you can see, I can start changing the document. So let me just define a new function. And as you can see, with Monaco, because I'm editing and I actually picked the language JavaScript, a Monaco editor has amazing syntax, coloring, highlighting, and auto-completion for the language. So I'm just going to define a function called print, which prints arts. I'm just going to call console.log, and as you can see, and it actually even infers things like my types, because it's actually being powered by the amazing language service behind the scenes. And this is the perspective of the candidate. On my end, as you can see, the text is being so it's being synced in real time, and you can also add more comments. So here I'm going to add some more text. I'm going to bring that window back, so you can see that text came up as well. And as you can see, both users can keep collaborating on the document together. The other interesting feature that I wanted to work on was to add support for real-time selections. So as I select some text, that selections also sync on both documents. They're just annotations that I add on the side of the editor. And as the user continues to work on more text, those selections get invalidated automatically, and that's an interesting feature. And if I select some text, those selections are synchronized pretty nicely, and both users can select text that are shown as decorations on the editor with different colors, so you can differentiate between them. So let's pretend that the interview is now over, and the user just exited the document, and the presence detect his exiting was detected on the creator side, and now I can the notes panel still exists, and I can choose to add some interview feedback if I choose to do so, and I can go back to search, and let's look at what happens if I go back to the replay window that I was talking about before. When I go into replay mode, I get the same editor, but I get a few controls on top, and this is the part where because I'm actually storing the actual events as they happen on the editor, and I'm using the OT model of Monaco, I can actually replace those events as they actually happened. So I can click on play, and as you can see, you can actually see what the user did, uh, and you can actually make things faster, or you can make them slower, and you can literally replay the entire interview as if it was being animated. And the interesting thing is, because we're only storing delta events and the way the animations work, you can actually compress the parts where no activity was there, and so you can look at this interview like it was one logical interview that took a constant set of time between events. So let me show you that again. So now I can also pause, and I can resume, and as you can see, it works pretty well. The editor scales for this use case pretty nicely. So we stop. So this was the app that I just wanted to demo. If you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear about them. Thanks.